Hello, welcome to the World of Literature. At World of Literature today we would be dealing with the poem My Last Duchess by Robert Browning. My Last Duchess is a dramatic monologue. It's a poem which was written in 1842. It was published in the Dramatic Lyrics, a collection of poetry. The poem My Last Duchess consists of 28 rhyming couplets and it is written in iambic pentameter. Now, before we take up the text of the poem and read it and try to understand the text, it's important to know a little bit about the background of the poem. Now, as we go through the poem, My Last Duchess, we find that the speaker in the poem is talking about his late wife, and later towards the end of the poem he is talking about his new engagement with some new lady. So when we read the history and the time in which the poem was written, this poem was preceded by Ferrara, and when we read the poem, it begins with Ferrara. Now, keeping this context in mind, it can be said that the speaker in the poem would be Alfonso II. Alfonso II d'Este. Now, Alfonso II, he was the 5th Duke of Ferrara. It is believed that his first marriage, he married to Lucrezia di Cosmo di Medici, who was a lady of a lower class, that is, her status was not as good as that of Alfonso II. So since they weren't the people who belonged to the same class, that would be the upper class, or who were not enjoying a similar kind of a status. So what happened after marriage of Alfonso II with Lucrezia, the marriage was a failure. Alfonso II, he abandoned Lucrezia immediately after the marriage, and it is believed that after 2 years of the marriage, Lucrezia at the time of marriage was around 14 years of age, and after 2 years she died. And it is believed that the reason of the death of Lucrezia was poisoning. She was probably poisoned because of her status in the society. Now, after the death of Lucrezia, Alfonso II, he married a second time, and this time around he would marry with Barbara. Now, Barbara, she was the daughter of Holy Emperor Ferdinand I and the sister of Count of Tyrol Ferdinand II. Now, Ferdinand II, he was the in charge of settling the matter of marriage between Alfonso II and Barbara. Now, that was the background of the poem. The context of the poem in which it was written for Alfonso II, who had married initially with Lucrezia, but after the death of Lucrezia, he would be marrying with Barbara. So in this poem, the speaker, who would be Alfonso II, he would be talking about his first wife, and then he would be talking about his second wife.